Here I have another KO that you guys wanted me to get. You said that it's better than Venom, but is that really the case? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Carnage knockoff that I got from AliExpress. Judging by what you guys said and some other feedback that I saw, this is another great Revoltech KO. I said it before, most of the time for some reason Revoltech KOs turn out pretty good. First, a quick look at the packaging, which has that older classic style from back in the day. We have a window in front showing the figure and some of the accessories. We have a promo shot together with some comic book panels behind it, and according to the box, this guy was number 8 in this line. The design of the packaging is much different than what we get these days. Back then these boxes were really busy, and today they toned everything down. Here is the side of the box with a black and white version of the figure, and back of the box shows the figure in more dynamic poses together with all included accessories. Here is the other side of the box with another promo shot underneath these stickers, top of the box and the bottom. As I said, this came from AliExpress, so the box is all banged up, but it's not as terrible as it can be sometimes. But now, let's open it up, let's take a look at the figure. Here is Carnage out of the box, and while it's definitely an older type of body sculpt, it's still a good looking figure. The proportions are nice. Carnage is a lanky guy, especially in comparison to Venom, and I do like how this KO turned out. I have no major issues with the joints, nothing is loose here. The only issue for me were the two neck joints, the one that connects to the torso and the other one that connects to the head. These two were completely stuck, and so first I had to invest some time to make them move. And then when I finally succeeded, the joints started to separate when I moved them. And I can show you what I mean. If you see here, one half of the joint is inside of the neck and the other half is in the torso. I think that this is glued inside. I can't remove this from the body. But as I said at first, this joint, it wouldn't articulate at all. So I was able to finally loosen it up, but again, now it separates. So I will have to invest some more time and try to fix this issue now. And then at the top of the neck, I have the same issue with this joint as well, where it separates in two, but it's not as loose and as big of an issue as it is with the lower joint. So those were my two main issues here. But even like this, those two joints are now working. So those were the only issues that I had on this figure so far. Everything else looks good. The sculpt is nice. I see no major paint bleeding. There are all of these black lines all over the body, so if there is a paint issue on some detail, I don't see it. Taking a closer look at the details, here is how the head looks. He has these big eyes that are removable. The mouth is opened and it can't be closed fully. You can pull the jaw up just slightly, but this is all you'll get. You can open the mouth even more, so that's good. The lower jaw is a floating piece that can move side to side, but the upper part of the head is connected to the neck joint. The teeth are nicely sculpted, but same as the face, painted black, so it can be hard to notice them. The tongue is nicely sculpted and painted inside the mouth. Carnage has these symbiote pieces poking out on the back of the head. The neck is nicely sculpted, and then here is a better look at the torso with these two holes in the chest. Here is a look at the arms with few more Revoltech peg holes. The whole body has this nicely sculpted veiny looking texture, and it looks organic, like flesh without the skin. And then we have these black details painted on top of it. Here is a look at the legs, and on the back side you can see that this guy has that older type of the design with these huge ball joints, which back in the day Revoltech was using for the knees. Nowadays they've improved their design and the knees look much better in my opinion. But overall, the sculpt and the paint of this figure is really good and I like what I'm seeing. Let's now take a look at his accessories, and he does come with a lot of them. We're gonna start off with a stand. He comes with a knockoff Revoltech stand. This one is not translucent, but it still looks like a Revoltech stand. You get all the parts inside and you need to assemble them yourself. Then in the first tray you get this little piece that is like a remover of the joints. Then you get few alternate hands. Obviously one fisted hand and one open hand are already on the figure. Then you get another pair, another fisted hand and another open hand, which are nicely sculpted and painted, especially this one with the claws, the tips of the fingers being painted in black. The transition from black to red is done really nicely. And then the other set of hands are these fully open hands that have peg holes in them, so you can peg in some of the tentacles accessories that also come with this guy, and that we'll look in a second. Then we got two alternate pairs of interchangeable eyes. There are 3 pairs total. One is obviously already on the head, but then you get these, and all of them have a different pattern, a different design on them, so you can kind of combine all of these. And to swap out the eyes, you don't even have to remove the head. You simply just peel this one off, and there is a little L here indicating that this is the left eye, so we can use this other one, and all you need to do is align the pegs with the peg holes, and this is an option that you can end up with. You also get a ton of tentacle accessories. You get 2 of these longer ones, so 4 total, and these have a simple peg at the bottom so that you can plug them into the body. You get 4 of shorter ones, and then 4 of these smaller tentacles, and all of these can easily be plugged into the peg holes on the body. I've already tried it and everything works easily, no issues here. We can try it on his shoulder, for example, here, and this holds as well. And then on the back of the figure you have even more options. All of these peg holes do work and they do hold them. Same goes for these smaller ones, you can peg them in as well, and it's like that with the smallest ones. You can also peg them wherever you want. They can go in here, or for example here on the elbow, so you can put them there, or even on the back of his feet. With a little bit of wiggling, these actually do peg in. You can rotate them. This is how they look on the body. But that is not all, because this guy comes with even more stuff. In the second tray you will get a pair of these tentacles that at the base have a small Revoltech joint, and so they do articulate. And then you get another pair of tentacles that look like this, and these as well have those joints and also peg holes, so you can connect all of the other parts and pieces onto these as well, and you can combine them however you want. And then you get 2 extension pieces for those tentacles that I just showed you. These have a peg hole on one side and a joint on the other, so you can use any of these tentacles, connect them like this, and now they are articulated and all the joints work, and this is a KO. And then you get few extensions for his hands or tentacles that serve as weapons. You get a pair of these daggers, blades, however you want to call them, a nicely sculpted texture on them, and as you can see we have a peg hole here again and a joint at the bottom, so you can plug this into his hand or insert it into one of these tentacle extensions. So you get 2 of these, and then 2 axe weapon extensions that can also be pegged wherever you like. And the sculpt here is also very nice with this transition from lighter to darker red, and it's like that on both of these. And then you get these amazing looking daggers, and I don't see any imperfections in the plastic or in the paint job. All of this looks beautiful. And then finally you get 2 of these extension pieces, connectors. These can serve as connectors for few pieces at the same time. So for example, you want to use the axe and this blade at the same time, you can do that. Or you can have like a double axe like this. You can do whatever combination you want with all of these tentacles and weapon extensions for your Carnage. And to peg his into his hand, for example, all you need to do is remove this peg here, remove the hand, and then connect this one. And now you have him using the axe as his hand, and this looks fantastic. So in terms of the look, it is all up to you. You can combine all of these parts and pieces however you want. You can get creative with it. You can do all kinds of combinations and give your Carnage the best possible look that you can imagine for your shelf. But I have to say, with all of these tentacles and accessories being plugged into the figure, this is how the craziness looks. And I'm really happy to see that all of these parts and pieces fit into this figure and all the pegs hold their position, which is not always the case on a KO. Let's now take a look at his articulation. The head can look side to side. We get some nice tilt. We can look down this much, but up all the way. The jaw articulates, but as I said, it can be fully closed. We have traditional Revoltech butterfly joint here that moves forwards and backwards. Arms go out all the way. They rotate 360, and we have a swivel in the shoulder. There's no bicep cut on this body. I assume it's because it's an older sculpt, but there is a swivel in the elbow. Elbow bends this much. We have a swivel in the wrist, and they bend in all directions. We have 2 cuts in the torso, so this is where we'll get our side-to-side movement and a great side-to-side tilt. This is how far he can crunch forward, and then this is how far he goes back. Crotch is a floating piece, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. Legs go out only this much. I will be honest, I was expecting a bit more. They move forwards and back. We have a thigh swivel, a swivel in the knees bend this much, and even this kneecap has a small ball joint, so it does hinge forwards and back. We have a swivel in the lower legs, a swivel in the feet move forward this much, back this much. We have a toe joint and a generous ankle pivot. So all in all, the articulation of this figure is pretty good. Let's now compare this guy to some other figures. Here is how he scales with a City Toys KO of Amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom and to Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Venom KO from AliExpress. And I feel like this scales perfectly. Venom is of course bulkier, but he is also slightly taller than this guy. And this guy is lanky, so I feel like this here works. Here is how he scales with AliExpress KO of Marvel Legends Retro Carded Venom and the AliExpress KO of Mafex Venom. Then here he is with original Marvel Legends Symbiote Suit Spidey, the retro carded one, and the City Toys knockoff of Mafex Symbiote Spidey. Here is how he scales with City Toys KO of Mafex 185 Spidey and City Toys KO of Mafex number 1, the Amazing Spider-Man KO. And you can see how small this guy really is. And then here is how he scales with the original Mafex 185 Spidey and the original Sentinel Peter B. Parker. Here is how he scales with the original SH Figure Arts Tom Holland Spider-Man and Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Deadpool 2.0 KO from AliExpress. Here he is with Star Wars The Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper and original Mafex Joker. And finally, here he is next to the 2 City Toys Wolverine figures. On the left we have the brown suit and on the right we have their Tiger Stripe KO. So there you go, that was my review of Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Carnage KO from AliExpress. Obviously this figure is not perfect. It's a good KO that does have some flaws, but nothing really huge. All the symbiote tentacles that you get here are insane. There is a lot of them and you can put them on the figure however you want. No issues there. The figure is well put together, and other than the irritating neck joints that I had to fix and I still need to work on, the articulation works perfectly. You do need to be careful when messing around with this figure. Always heat up the plastic with a hairdryer or by some other method just to loosen up potential stiff joints so that you don't break something. This is a great looking Carnage figure even though it's a KO. And if you don't have the original, I would recommend this guy. Carnage is on the market for a long time, but he's still a great figure, and with it being a Revoltech KO, you will have a lot of fun posing him around. Link for where I got mine is in the video description, so you can use that one. But all of these were just my thoughts, and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this KO? Do you like the way that it looks, or do you think it's bad? Do you plan on getting it, or do you already have it? Do you maybe have the original? And if you do, how does this KO compare to the official release? Let me know all of that down in the comments. As always, a huge thank you goes to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep the channel alive. If anyone else can join and help, please do so, because everything that I earn over there goes into the future channel content. If you're interested, Patreon link is in the description. I also offer a channel membership. For 99 cents per month, you can support the channel and help me with getting more figures that you want me to review. So, if you can, join and become a channel member. And if not, that's also okay, you are still helping simply by watching and sharing my videos. So, thank you guys for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.